What up, guys? Today we're going to talk about ear training. It's something I've been doing a lot of for the past week. So just a little bit of background before I start. I have played the piano for over a decade now, so I do have a good amount of experience with just recognizing certain notes and chords and whatnot. So it's not like I'm starting from zero. Just keep that in mind when I talk about certain things. So for my ear training this past week, I've been using this app called Tone. I have an iPhone personally. I'm not sure if it's available for Android, but basically there's three segments called perfect pitch, interval recognition, and then chord recognition. And the reason I upped my practice is because I signed up for the free trial of this app, which only lasts for 7 days. And if I hit the learn button, usually day 7 through 45 is completely locked out. So what I did for the past 7 days was go through day 6 to 45 for each learn section. And it was quite a journey. It was pretty fun to do, to be honest. Like, I enjoyed it. As you can see, there's like star rankings. 3 stars usually means like you missed like maybe 2 or 3 notes. And then 2 stars, I never really counted what you need to get for 2 stars, but they give you a lot of like chances for mistakes and whatnot. You have to get 2 stars to pass. If you get 1 star, then you have to keep doing the same day over and over until you pass it. And they say tone is like a guessing game. Listen to the sound and select which chord you think it is. Don't worry about wrong guesses, just do your best. And if I were to start it, you could hear that it's playing right now. But yeah, that's pretty much how this app works. It's very simple, and what I've been doing a lot is using the practice section, which you can customize. That's mainly what I do. You can also choose major, natural minor, and whatnot, but it's just far easier in my opinion to customize it. But basically what I can do now, since I've logged each learn session, I wrote down what each one is practice each day until I like completely master it and don't really have any hesitation on like recognizing the notes. So I can do that for each one of these. Just make the customization so that they're according to the day, and then I keep doing it until I get it perfect every single time, and then move on from there. So this video is mainly to outline each one. So that's what I'm gonna do. So here are the days for perfect pitch. Each note is assigned to certain days, and you can also do exactly what the learn section has. Each day is 15 seconds to answer each question. However, for me, I do it for 5 seconds, but if you're a complete beginner at this, 15 seconds is fine. And then I stay on the medium octave, and surprisingly, that's what the learn app does the entire time, the learn section. Like, they only do the medium octave and not the low and the high. So for me, I think what I'm gonna do is go through every day on medium, and then afterwards go through every day on low, and then afterwards on high, and then I'm gonna mix them up at the very end. And to continue on, for the interval segment, here are the tests from day 1 all the way up to day number 45. So this is just to outline a method that I plan on using to get better with interval recognition and chord recognition. I feel like throughout my piano experience, I've mostly learned how to play pieces, and I have learned theory, like I did ABRSM theory up to level 6, and then I passed level 8, as well as doing some dip ABRSM for the teaching one. I also passed that. So I have some experience with theory, obviously, and with recognizing chords and whatnot, because that's actually part of the practical exam. You have to recognize cadences and other listening exercises, oral training. So I have experience with this. It's just not in this way. Which a lot of people actually say that this way is not too useful, so you might want to do your own research for that. It's not too useful if you're a beginner, because like it's very hard to do if you don't like understand some music theory. Like, for instance, if you don't have a good feel for like the major scale, the minor scale, and so on. So you might want to consider learning more about that first before diving into this. Just quick tips that I learned along the way. Minor 7th and major 7th sound kind of similar to minor 2nd and major 2nd. Like, if you listen carefully, a minor 7th sort of just sounds like a major 2nd, because it sort of is. It's just if you were to change and do the octave differently, then it's a major second. So those are just certain ways to hear them easier. Each interval has their ways. Like for instance, I'm sure you can find a lot of videos about it. Like for me personally, a minor third, it sounds like the Pirates of the Caribbean one. That's how it sounds like, a minor third. And then perfect fourth sounds like the marriage one. The fifth one, I always hear like the Superman theme. Minor six, I hear the beginning of one of Chopin's waltzes. Again, major six is another one of Chopin's pieces. I think it's the Nocturne. Nothing for minor seventh and nothing for major seventh. I just can recognize them. I think a lot of people say minor second is like Jaws. Major second, you can just hear it because like if you think about the scale, it's a... Major thirds, they just sound like a doorbell. That's personally how I do it. Like after you internalize that, you don't actually have to think about it. You just hear it as a major third instead of being like, that sounds like a doorbell. That's a major third. You sort of tie in the connection so strongly that it just, you hear it and it's like major third. That's where you want to get to. That's where I want to get to for every interval recognition. And then for the chord recognition, again, here are the tests from day 1 to day 45. What I've learned from this one is you sort of just need to listen very carefully to major and minors. And then for augmented, what I hear is a minor 6. The lowest note and the highest note is basically a minor 6. So usually that's what I hear for augmented. And then diminished chords, you can hear the tritone. That's called the tritone. Very, very recognizable for tritone. And then at major seventh, you just sort of have to hear the bottom, because like a major seventh, it sounds like a major chord on the bottom. And then a minor seventh, you can hear the minor part on the bottom. And then dominant seventh, it always sounds like it wants to go back to the tonic. Like it sounds like it wants to move. It sounds like unresolved for a dominant seventh. So that's how I recognize it. And then half diminished, it just sounds like a diminished in the bass, and then like a note higher compared to the diminished seventh. That's how I think of it. And all of these things, I feel like I just internalized today or yesterday. Obviously, I've had practice with like trying to recognize these chords before, but that's a long time ago. And for me these days, practice usually just consists of like practicing in peace and not really thinking too much about ear training. And I'm trying to change that as much as possible. So this is how I'm starting off. And then once I learn pieces, like I'm gonna start really honing in on, you know, hearing the different chords, hearing the different intervals that are being played for each melody and stuff like that. So that's basically it for this app. This is something that I've been doing for the past week, and I just wanted to highlight it. Here's what I'll do for you guys, just for perfect pitch practice. Before I started practicing perfect pitch on this thing, it's not really perfect pitch, it's really relative pitch. But before I started practicing, I was not very good at it. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys one quick run through. So we're gonna do every single note right now, octave, medium, 5 seconds to answer. Let's go ahead and do this. Seriously? Okay, that's out of 50. 88-ish% is what they're saying, but I got 44, so yeah, that's accurate. Okay. So definitely not perfect, but definitely not terrible either. It's pretty difficult to do it like 5 seconds if you're not used to it. So I'd recommend doing it like for a longer period of time, because you'll feel super rushed if it's just 5 seconds. But I got used to it, and that's just the way I prefer to practice, so I don't like get too much time to think, and I just have to go with my gut. Hopefully I can like get up to 2 seconds or even 3 seconds. Again, I only do this I'd say about 5 times. I've been averaging higher these days, about 5 to 6 times every single week, and all I do is 100 questions of every single note on the medium octave at 5 seconds at the current moment, and then I'm just going to add the lower octave and then the higher octave, and then hopefully eventually go down to 3 seconds. So let's see what happens after that. Anyways, this was just meant to be a quick video talking about this app and also showing you guys what kind of practice method you can go through if you have the foundations of music theory already sorted out and you're just looking to train your ear a little bit. I do think this app is pretty cool, and another one I'm going to mention because I practiced that one for a little bit before this one is called Earpeggio, and I'll show you guys how it looks real quick. If you guys are looking for a completely free one, I do think that Earpeggio is a pretty amazing app. Like if you just go on goals and then you start adding like the easy goals and stuff like that, and you start off that way, I think it's a great app just to practice ear training basically, and it's pretty fun. Like I went through the entire thing, did all the goals, 100%ed all of them, and then moved on to this tone app right here. So just some things that I've experienced that I wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully it can help some of you guys out there who are looking to do some ear training. And if you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, go ahead and give a like and subscribe, and feel free to ask me any questions down below. I do plan on making more music related videos, although I'm still unsure if I want to post it on this channel or my piano channel, which you guys can check out. I haven't really uploaded too much on that yet, but I do plan on increasing the uploads. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.